I should have ignored the old radio. I should have let the silence remain undisturbed. But curiosity, that cruel mistress, compelled me to listen, and now I wish I never had. My job, or rather, what used to be my job, was clearing abandoned storage units at Tidy Storage. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills. Usually, the units held nothing more than forgotten junk, rotting furniture, or useless heirlooms. Sometimes there were valuables, sold at quiet auctions to desperate collectors. But mostly, it was solitude, rust, and silence. Last week was different. When I arrived at the decrepit facility that morning, I was greeted by the broken electronic gate, a familiar inconvenience. Fumbling for the old key, I unlocked the rust-ravaged side gate, its hinges groaning in protest. Entering the grounds, I couldn't help but bitterly laugh at our ironic name, Tidy Storage indeed. My footsteps echoed unnaturally loud against the peeling paint and cracked concrete. Rust bloomed along every surface like bloodstains, eating away at bolts and hinges. As I moved deeper into the facility, I felt a heaviness descend. A quiet that felt unnatural, oppressive, whispering secrets just beyond my reach. Finally, I arrived at Unit 113, marked by a hastily scrawled note from Tim, the elusive lot manager. The lock resisted briefly before surrendering with a reluctant creak. The door opened into a scene of disarray and obsession. Torn pages littered the floor, warped by water and time. Books lay scattered, their spines cracked and titles unreadable, arcane symbols etched across their covers. Chalk drawings twisted like veins across walls and floor, eerie diagrams that whispered madness to anyone foolish enough to linger. At the heart of the chaos sat an antique radio, immaculate against the backdrop of decay. Shiny mahogany and polished glass seemed absurdly out of place amidst the ruin. I was drawn to it, inexplicably compelled. As soon as I touched the dial, static erupted, harsh, unyielding. I nearly retreated, fingers hovering over the switch to silence it again, when the static resolved into a voice. A plea, distorted but unmistakable. "Please, help me." It was faint yet piercing, tugging at something primal within me. Fear mingled with fascination. Who could resist such desperation? Against my better judgment, I leaned closer. "Please, it hurts. I'm so hungry." The voice was distant, distorted, alien yet heartbreakingly human. I couldn't ignore it. I tried to communicate, but the transmitter crackled with malfunction. Frantic, I found an old ham radio in the facility's office, scavenging parts to hastily repair the damaged equipment. Each moment, the urgency increased, compelling me to move faster, guided by an instinct that felt alien. Finally, the voice clarified. A woman, Rebecca, lost somewhere dark, trapped by a ritual gone wrong. Her instructions were frantic but clear. Reverse the symbols. Read the incantations backward. She begged me to hurry, her voice breaking apart as something unseen approached. I obeyed, chalk trembling in my hands as I drew inverted symbols, whispered forbidden words in reverse. The air grew heavy, the temperature plummeted, an unnatural light seeped from the chalk outlines. In my desperation to strengthen our connection, I grabbed the radio, preparing to move outside for better reception, but I stumbled, breaking a delicate line of salt unnoticed on the floor. Everything shattered. A deafening roar filled the room, the radio violently wrenching from my grasp, shattering into pieces. An immense, suffocating presence flooded the space, announcing itself with a voice like the endless buzzing of countless insects. I am hunger. I am the void between stars. The divine made manifest. My heart seized with terror. Rebecca's pleas were a ruse. The ritual was never intended to save her, it imprisoned something monstrous, something that had devoured her and now had tricked me into freeing it. The entity laughed a grinding, inhuman sound. Clever little girl found me, sought communion with divinity. She was delicious. Now, thanks to you, I am free again. I staggered backward, ice forming on metal walls. My throat closed, breaths shallow and painful. The presence mocked my helplessness, a whisper promising a terrible reunion. Your reward for my freedom is your continued existence for now. I will find you again soon. And then it vanished, leaving only the echo of its laughter and the cold, heavy silence behind. I left tidy storage that day, never returning. But the memory haunts me. I unleashed something ancient and ravenous upon the world. Now I live in fear, knowing that eventually, it will return for me. Let this be my final warning: some cries for help should forever remain unanswered.